Easy guys, Dom here from CDG, so welcome to 10 beginners tips for Space Marine 2. This is going to be more specific for the operations game mode, which to be honest with you, you are going to be playing more of once you've completed the campaign, but some of these tips will also cross over to campaign as well, so don't worry, there are going to be some things here that are going to help with that initial playthrough. Also, I am playing on the PS5, so there are going to be more tips here that are probably more PS5 specific, but to be honest with you, Xbox and PC players will also hopefully find some useful information here too. So that now brings us into tip number 1, which is pretty short and sweet, but still handy nonetheless. So here we are on our battle barge in operations mode. Now if you press and hold down on the touchpad in the middle of the PS5 controller, it does bring up this menu where you can fast travel between the launch bay and the armoring hall, or vice versa, and this just speeds things up between operations. You may have just completed one and you want to whiz over here and have a look at what you've unlocked. Now while we're talking about unlocks, that brings us into tip number 2, taking a look at the weapon upgrades. On the left hand side here is our weapon selection, including 3 different loadout options. We've got our edit armor option at the bottom and our perk tree on the right, which we'll take a look at later. But let's take a look at this bolt pistol, because I have unlocked a mastery point to use in the perk tree here. Now mastery points are awarded to you for successfully completing operations and using this specific weapon. Now there's 3 different stages to this. There's Master Crafted, which is in green here, there's Artificer, which is in purple, and there's Relic, which is in gold or orange, and the last 2 are unlocked for completing operations on harder difficulties. But there's also this thing called an Armory data point, and we've got one here which we found in one of the operations we were playing. Again, different coloured ones you can see at the top here are unlocked from finding these on the harder difficulties. Now this green one is found on the lower level difficulties, and what you're looking for is you're looking for these servo skulls, and there's a few of these hidden around the levels and you've just got to find them. Once you find them and you successfully finish the operation, you will then be able to spend these to be able to upgrade your weapons, and you can spend them to upgrade whatever weapons you want. They will increase certain stats, and it can be things like the damage that they do, the range of the weapon, and things like the size of the magazine. However, in terms of the chain sword here, it's just the strength. You'll also unlock an appearance option too. Now down at the bottom, while we're talking about appearance options, we've got the armor customization, which is purely cosmetic. This doesn't give you any buff to how much damage you can take within the game itself, but you know, you can make yourself look like a badass space marine. At the bottom here, you've got your custom armor set, which you can use different colors and different emblems to be able to upgrade your character. And again, as I've said, some of these will be needed to be unlocked before you're able to upgrade. If you go into heraldry here, you've got all the different Space Marine chapters, and you can spend these things that are called requisitions, which again you'll earn from completing these operations, to be able to unlock different colors, different emblems, and also in some instances different and new armor pieces such as pauldrons and helmets and gloves and things like that. So yeah, this is where you're going to probably be spending a lot of your requisition credits to be able to upgrade. So let's have a look in the perk tree here. So perks are just unlocked from leveling up. So once you reach a specific level, you'll be able to unlock a new perk, and this is how you make your character stronger to be able to play on the harder difficulties. Tip number 3, how to force yourself into offline mode, because currently there isn't one in the game. If like me you want to play the missions first without random strangers, you've just got to do an internet connection test in your network settings while in game, and what that did for me is it just disconnected me from the Space Marine 2 servers. But the thing is, all your progression is still saved and your internet connection to the PlayStation is still live, so nothing lost there. If you want to go back online, you've just got to close the game down and restart it. It's as simple as that. And now when you drop into an operation, you're going to be playing with 2 AI teammates. Tip number 4, how to change the difficulty. Now in the operations menu, if you press square on the PS5 controller, it will give you now the option to be able to change the level that you're playing on in terms of its difficulty. Now as I mentioned earlier, in order for you to be able to upgrade some of your weapons, you're going to need to find that higher level armory data and also earn the mastery points for your weapons playing on harder difficulties. This is how you do it. Tip number 5, green crates. Now this was a game changer for me when I first figured this out, and it took me a while. You'll notice there's these green crates around the map and you just think they're part of the environment, but if you actually smash these in good old Diablo 4 style, you will find a lot of things in them, like ammo, med kits, and also armor boosts, which is obviously going to give you 2 extra segments of armor for you to play around with. And yeah, just smash those boxes, guys. Tip number 6, how to remove status effects such as poisoning. It's going to happen. Now if you've got stims on you, even if you're at full health, if you pop a stim, it will remove that status effect and get you back in the fight with clear vision and no impairments. Tip number 7, check those corners, and I mean around every corner, because tucked away in a corner off the beaten path is going to be something like an XP boost or even a Guardian relic, which is going to give you the opportunity to self-revive if you get downed. You only got a number of revives from teammates before you're dead, so use these things wisely. Tip number 8, mobile armories. Now you usually find a couple of these in operations. They aren't just about being able to switch out your loadouts, because you might be happy with your loadout, but the thing here with this, if you're out of ammo, is if you just choose the same loadout as you're already using, it's going to totally refill your ammo. So if you're short on ammo, this is a nice little trick to get you back in the fight. Tip number 9, how to mark items. Now this can come in real handy, it's something that can be overlooked, but if you find something you want to mark for your teammates, you just got to press up on the directional pad while you're looking at it. If you press and hold up on the directional pad, you get these options for some different voice lines, but I think for me really just being able to mark things is the most important thing here. If you've got a teammate who's really low on health and you just find a stim pack, you can just mark it for him, and sometimes having a teammate at full health can be the difference between completing an operation or failing it. So our final tip, number 10, this is use the execute function a lot, and you're going to get this fun finisher where the enemies are flashing red and you can press down on the right thumbstick to be able to execute them. The great thing about this, and if you line it up right, is when you are doing the execute function, you are pretty much invincible against all damage, and this just means if, like me here, you've lost your armor and you've got lots of enemies around shooting at you, it gives you the opportunity to be able to take a little bit of time to do the animation. It's going to help you refill your armor quicker, and it's going to keep you invincible while you're doing it. This for me has saved me losing lots of health in battle, and it's also pretty badass. So that pretty much brings us to the end of the video. Hopefully you found a few useful tips here. Just watch this space for more Space Marine 2 content in the future. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on another video. Thanks for watching.